we're going to draw a couple of parts in isometric projection. And we'll go back to page 272 and draw a couple of parts that are familiar to us. But I've chosen to draw another part on that page that probably, from an isometric perspective, the most difficult one of the four. And just wanted to give you an idea of how that you actually draw in isometric snap. The first thing I'm going to tell you is this. Isometric views are pictorial views. They're a picture. They don't have to be exactly right. That being said, if you don't try to make them as close to perfect as possible, they're not going to look right. And with CAD systems, the way they are, there's no reason why you cannot make something as close to perfect as possible. You'll see that I've got this drawing here on my screen. This is exercise 6.13. And you'll see that I've already got the front, right-hand side, top view done. You should have this. You know, this was an assignment for you for ENST 1311 last semester. But from this particular viewpoint, I show you this because sometimes with isometric snap, you can't use geometric construction like we use it when we're working in 2D CAD. So it's really nice to have these views handy so that you can get measurements off of them so that you can get very close, as opposed to, excuse me, having to guess or having to take time to draw. So if you've already got the drawing, which I do, it's nice to have that up so that you can get some measurements off of it. Now, I will call your attention to the fact that I am still in rectangular snap. If I come down to my little menu in the lower right-hand corner, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th menu over toggles on isometric snap. So when I click and turn isometric snap on, notice that my cursor changes. Now, my cursor changes based on the fact whether I'm drawing on what we would see maybe as the front plane, this side plane, and the top plane. So if we look at this particular orientation with my cursor, it's going to draw things that are pretty much on my front plane. If I use the F5 key or the function 5 key along the top of my keyboard, notice I can toggle between the 3 principal planes. So with that being said, I'm going to start drawing. I want to make sure that that's turned on, and also want to make sure my restrict cursor orthogonally is turned on. So I'm going to draw a line starting here, and I'm going to come down. So how long is that? 3.25 inches. I'll toggle, and I'm going to come over this way and put a depth of 2.5 inches in. This is my bottom surface. Now, a couple of things that we're going to do from here is I'm going to draw a line from here, toggle, and we'll come up a distance of 0.19. I'm doing that because that's the height of the step. So I'm going to copy, because these two lines are parallel, I can copy one line and make another one. We'll copy this line as well and bring it up like this. Now I'm going to take care of my step here in the middle. We can't use offset. We cannot use offset, folks. So keep that in mind. That's the reason I'm doing all the drawing here. Our dimension for, use a circle, because a circle acts like a sphere or a ball in isometric snap. So I'm going to use the sphere or the ball, and I'm going to draw a ball 1.25 inches around. I'm going to draw a line from here straight up. I'll draw another ball, or a radius of 0.75. I said diameter a minute ago, it's radius. I'm going to copy this line over to here. Now, that being done, I can come in here and I can use the trim command. And I can trim all that away. I can erase that because I don't need it anymore. This line is not part of the part because we just cut away this step. So I'm going to move that line. No sense in wasting it. I'm going to move it over here because I'm going to see just a little bit of the bottom of that keyway there. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to trim this. Plus, I'm going to get this spot right here that I left out in the middle. Now, that's got me started. Okay. Now, at this particular point in time, I'm going to look over here, and my next surface from here up to here is 0.62 inches. So I'm going to draw a line from here up 0.62. I'm going to toggle my cursor, draw backwards 2.5, and then draw straight down. Object Snap lets me do that. Okay, so that's got the left-hand side of my part finished. I'm going to move my part there. All that does is it allows me to zoom in closer while I still see my other views. Now, I'm going to draw a line here. Maybe what am I up to? Well, I'm up to getting that 1.56 dimension that we see over here. Actually, I don't really need to do that. Since I've already got this done, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to do this differently. Because the length of this line right here is the same as the length of this line coming up. I'm going to copy that line over to here. I can get away with that. Now, draw another line from here. I'm given the dimension from that as a 0.25. I'm going to draw straight down. And I'm going to draw from this corner over this way. And then when I trim, that gives me this L shape right here with keyway. It's this L shape right here in my front view. And there's my key. All right. Again, this has been so far the easiest part of this. Now I'm going to get this area right here taken care of. Since I've already got this in the top view, I'm going to use these as measurements. So I'm going to draw a circle from here to there. Now remember, this is a sphere. I'm going to move that circle from here to there. I can draw lines, but I can also copy them as long as they're parallel to each other, which these two are. I'm going to do that. I'm going to trim. And by doing that, I know that line is exactly the right dimension. I've also got this line here. Draw a circle from there to there. Copy that circle to here. And I'm going to copy this line because that line here and this line here, they're parallel as well. And then I'm going to trim. You may be asking, what if I don't already have the part drawn? Well, you're going to have to draw it. Now, the question is going to be, do you want to go ahead and draw front, right-hand side, and top views ahead of time, or do you want to go ahead and just draw parts of it? If you know which parts you want to draw, then you can actually just draw parts. Now, this line here can be copied down to here. Okay. Now, I have a dimension for this line here. The book tells me it's 1.25 inches. And then I have another line that comes from here on that base and it works its way forward there. Fillet command works as long as we give it a radius of 0. It will square off corners, so there that is. So the question now becomes, what do I do with this area? Well, understand that this little line right here is a line from here to here, which means that I can copy that line, put it there. I can draw a circle for that line. Circle, please. Thank you. I can draw another line. And trim it. Hope I've not lost you. I'm doing this kind of fast. But again, it's a picture. It shouldn't be that big of a deal to draw. Now, at this particular point, understand that this line right here is the same angle as that line coming from over there. So here's what I'm going to do. The angle is the same. They're part of the same surface. So I'm going to copy this line to here. I'm going to copy that line to there. Fillet command again. And get that. Now all I have to do at this point is connect those dots. Again, notice what I've been doing is I've been using a lot of the dimensions and just copying using lines and stuff that already exist. So it's not that difficult a thing to do. You just got to visualize and just take and put one line in at a time. For instance, right now I've got, why I keep doing that, this distance here which gives me that corner. I'm just drawing the line as a placeholder because I've got to draw another circle to get the distance from here to here. If I draw two circles, I get kind of crossed up. I'm going to draw another circle there, transfer it up here. Now all I have to do is draw a line from that end point up to this intersection. And when I do that, those two are right. Now, at this point, all I've got to do is draw a line straight down. I know that thing is 0.19D. I can copy that line from here to there. Draw a line from there to there. And at the same time, draw a line from there over, and then from there over. A little bit of trim work, get rid of that and that. So we can see a little bit better, make sense of this. So that now I get rid of those. And there's that little corner cut out. Like I said, this is the hardest one of these three. And I think this is actually the first time I've ever drawn this one in isometric format. Again, kind of difficult. Well, really, it's not. It's not difficult. It's just time consuming. Now, I'm going to draw a line. There, that. Draw a line from there. I'm going to draw another line. Now, I'm going to try something. I think this will work. I think I can use a mid between 2 points, and it does work. So all I got to do is come back this way, type in 0.75, and that end point right there is going to be the location for my counter board circle. Now, let me show you how we get circles. First off, I want to get my cursor right. In order to put a circle here, we have to come up and we have to use the ellipse and is it the axis end option? Yeah, if I pick axis end. Now, it asks me to specify the axis end point, or if I look at the bottom, I see ISO circle. We're going to draw an isometric circle. Click. Okay, what is the center point right there? That wants to know the radius of the iso circle. Now, I'm going to type in D for diameter so I can change that, because it gives me the diameter of that top circle as a 0.75. And there's that circle. Now, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to create an axis. An axis for the part that goes all the way through. I'm going to toggle this around here. I'm going to draw a line from that center point, and I'm going to draw straight down. I'm going to type in the number 0.35. Now, why did I do that? It's because this is the center point of the cylinder at the bottom of the counterboard. When I do that, then all I have to do is copy that and come up here from its center point and create another one down here. Okay. Now, with that, I know this is kind of weird, but understand that at this angle, all of that bottom iso circle that I'll see is that. Okay? Now, the question is this so deep that I won't see any of that diameter of the hole that goes all the way through the part? Let's find out. Axis in, type in I for iso circle and press enter. Toggle around until I get my angle right. D for diameter, 0.5. And yes, I do. Now all I've got to do is trim and keep only the part that I see, get rid of my line, and there we go. I would draw the bottom of the circle as it kisses through or goes out the bottom of the keyway, but it's not gonna go. I know that. So at this point in time, I have finished this particular part. I'm going to do bend this stance. And you kind of see what this part looks like in isometric form. And you'll have to do this when it comes time for your working drawing. You may ask yourself, why would I want to do this? Well, you may have to draw an assembly diagram, and you may work for a company that does not have a 3D package like Inventor or SolidWorks. So you have to know how to create pictorial drawings using isometric snap. With that being said, I'm going to stop this video, and then we'll do a part that's more cylindrical based.